Pescatarian, and my name is Chef Artie. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to be making a jicama and blueberry mini waffles with a non-butter pecan sauce. Let's get started. Come on in. Ingredients that we'll be using today in our jicama and blueberry mini waffles with non-butter pecan sauce. We're going to be using 2 cups of all-purpose flour that has been sifted, a pint of blueberries that have been rinsed and drained. They'll be coated in a tablespoon of all-purpose flour. We'll be using 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. And for our wet ingredients, we're going to be using a cup and a half of oat milk, 3 tablespoons of canola oil, 1 tablespoon of agave nectar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 whole egg yolk, 2 egg whites that have been whisked into soft peaks. And the star of this recipe is jicama. We're going to be using a 1/4 cup, and it has been grated. And for our sauce, we can't just stop with those ingredients. Our sauce will have a 1/4 cup of agave nectar and a 1/4 cup of pecans. Yes, I said pecans. I am from the north, and we're going to be using 1 tablespoon of vegan butter. Let's get started with the recipe. Grate all of our dry ingredients together now. I'm going to put them here in the bowl. And I'm going to, salt trying to be a little bit stubborn. I am going to whisk it together to incorporate everything. And next we're going to do our wet ingredients. So we're going to use our measuring cup for our oat milk. Lovely sound, isn't it? Okay. We are almost down the home stretch. Now we're going to combine our wet with our dry ingredients. I'm going to whisk to combine. And it is coming along really good. Okay. Next are the blueberries. We're going to fold them in. Fold them in. And remember, they've been coated already. Can't forget the star of the recipe, our jicama. Gonna fold that in too. Oh, have a little leftover. So we're gonna fold in our jicama. And we're almost down the home stretch. The only thing we have left are our egg whites that have been beaten into soft peaks. So we're gonna slide those in. I'm going to put this bowl down here real quick. Just going to fold that ever so gently. Don't want to overwork our egg whites, because you took all that time to whisk them ever so gently, so we don't want to break them. We want our batter to be light and fluffy for our delicious jicama and blueberry mini waffles. And we're almost done. We don't want to overwork it, but we do want to make sure that the egg whites are thoroughly incorporated, and they are now. So guess what? It's time to make them. Are you ready? I am. Let's get started cooking. I preheated our mini waffle iron, and I'm going to be using a nonstick spray. You can use a nonstick spray of your choice. I'm spraying the top and the bottom iron. I'm using a scoop for easy measurement. So we don't want to overfill it, but we do want to put it in the middle. And that looks just about right. I'm going to put this down, and in no time flat, we're going to be eating delicious golden mini jicama and blueberry waffles. It takes about 2 minutes. Voila! The waffles are done. They're here. They look amazing. So I'm going to set these aside, and I'm going to get started on the non-buttered pecan sauce. Let's get started. I'm going to grab my skillet, and I'm going to turn on my trusty, plugged in the wall, making the skillet ever so hot. Induction cooking. So, you're familiar with all the ingredients. The recipe again is in the description box below. We're going to incorporate all of these ingredients and make this tasty, tasty sauce that's going to go on top of the jicama and blueberry mini waffles. Three easy breezy recipe ingredients. Nothing too stressful. You can do it. So far I put in the agave and the pecans, and now I'm going to put in the vegan butter. I like mine a little bit butterier. Did I make up a word? No, there is such a word. So I like mine really buttery. So I put 2 tablespoons in, but you could put 1 in. 2 is going to make it super rich, super intense. So we're going to incorporate all of these ingredients together. I have the temperature on medium-high. Gotta make sure that our vegan butter melts down really good. We want this to come up to a rapid boil, so it should be any second now. And there it is. This smells so good, guys. Really, really good. I wish you can smell it. I know you can hear it. And soon you'll be tasting it when you try this recipe. This sauce takes about 1 minute and 30 seconds at best. Your grandma can make this recipe. And even your 5-year-old, if you let them close to any appliance, they can make this recipe too. So guess what? It is done. The hard part is done. But it really wasn't that hard. I just want to make sure you're paying attention. So I'm going to turn this off. Do you hear that? That's the sound of something delicious. So we have our jicama, blueberry mini waffles. I'm going to set this to the side, and I have some sauce that I already made. The secret to this sauce is it takes 1.5 minutes. You should rest it for about another 5 minutes, and it'll thicken up even more. If you like your sauce thinner, then go ahead and do it straight out of the skillet, if that's your liking. If you want yours a little bit thicker, then wait about 5 to 7 minutes, and it will thicken up, and it's going to be so delicious. So I'm going to grab the one that I already have prepared that I made before you join me today. Now here's the finished product. Doesn't this look amazing? It smells of pecans and butter, and it's all warm. Let's get started eating. Man, just cutting into these waffles. The blueberries are bursting as I cut down into the waffles. So good, so good. Look at that, guys. Look at that. That looks delicious. This is so good. So good. This recipe took no time to make. It's super delicious. The sauce is to live for. The waffles are tender, and you can taste the sweetness of the blueberries. It is so good. And remember, the star of the recipe is the jicama. You can hide a high potassium root vegetable inside of a mini waffle. Have your whole family be healthy on this tasty, delicious recipe. And remember, the recipes are listed in the description box below. Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to have another bite. Wow, this is good. So good, so good. Heaven on a plate. So, thanks for tuning in to this episode. You're here with the Pescatarian. Remember to make today tasty.